everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, January 23rd, 2022. You know, Chance believes that he is not in his right mind, and after this week, I'm inclined to agree with him. I don't think any of these people are fit to raise Dominic. That is why on Monday I am going to be filing my own motion to gain custody of little Dominic. I'm marching right down to the courthouse. I'm filing my papers. I'm suing Devon and Abby for custody. By next week, little Dominic is going to be here with me. He will be raised by us all. He will be raised into the collective bosom of the Y&R Chatters. It takes a village. I mean, who knows? By next week, that could be true. Because I don't even know how we got here this week. I don't know how we got from Devon threatening to sue for custody at this time last week to now this week, Abby and Chance are just handing the kid over. All in 1 week? How did we get here? What? Where am I? Who am I? I'm so confused. And the real cherry on top of it all, at the end of it all, Abby was apologizing to Devon because she got defensive and lost sight of what a great friend he is. I'm floored. I'm flabbergasted. What a great friend Devon is? Yeah. Devon offered to give Abby and Chance the gift of a family. He knew what he was doing. He agreed to the terms. He signed the documents. And then he changed his mind, sued his friends for custody, or was prepared to. What a guy! What a great friend! How dare Abby question him? How dare Abby stand up for the family she fought every step of the way to build? What is wrong with her? Oh man, it is as if that wasn't enough. After Devon got everything that he wanted, he had the nerve to stand there and ask them to append another name onto this poor kid. I'm sorry, but isn't this child saddled with enough already? He's going to have these lunatics hovering over him for his entire life. Now they want to add a 6th word to his name. Dominic, Philip, Newman, Abbott, Winters, Chancellor. Forget it. As soon as I get custody of Dom on Monday, I'm sending him off to boarding school so we can be done with him. Hey, I spent the last 2 weeks forcing myself to get into Devon's headspace, so I feel like it's okay for me to rant on him at least a little bit now. It's my turn now. I let you guys take care of that for me for 2 weeks, but this week I said nope. It's Allie's turn to rant. But since I gave Devon so much leeway, such a fair shake in all of this, really tried to dig into his perspective even though I didn't agree with it, I feel like I gotta give Chance the same treatment. I gotta try to get into Chance's headspace for just a minute here. Just let me get it out of the way so that I can rant on him too. I'm gonna do my best to get into Chance's head. I do think I understand where Chance is coming from. Chance's whole perspective is, I cannot give what I don't have. I cannot give to this child what I don't have to give to anyone. I think that Chance's depression right now is deep. And when depression is deep, I think you sometimes can't see a way out of it, and that's where Chance is. I think Chance cannot conceive of a day where things will ever be any different for him, or that things will ever get better, that he'll ever feel better. I think all Chance sees is his own inadequacy. He couldn't change the outcome of what happened in Spain. He couldn't save his team from death. And now he feels like he can't save Abby and Dominic from himself and his depression. And now here is Devon, offering to be all of the things that Chance feels like he's not. And so to Chance, that looks like an answer. Let Devon be Dominic's dad. He already is, in a sense. So why not let Devon love this child? More love is better, right? More love is better. So let Devon fill the empty space that I cannot fill. And with that perspective, Chance convinces Abby of it all. Chance convinces Abby to call Devon and arrange visitation for him without really taking too much time to think on it, maybe sleep on it. Abby just gives in and gives away a part of their life, a part of her dream, and a part of their family. She just gives it away. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I'm free to rant. I'm free to rant on Abby and Chance. Should I feel proud of Abby and Chance for being so open-minded and flexible about it all? Is that how I'm supposed to feel? Proud of them? Because all I can think is, how and why is Abby going along with this? We have been told from the beginning that this is Abby's son. This is Abby and Chance's son. So why would she go against her instinct to follow through with the arrangement that everyone of sound mind agreed to? The only one who didn't really agree to it was Chance. But he told her to go through with it. So I feel like Abby had the right idea at first. Like, let's call Christine and fight this with everything we've got. I wanted to see her continue on that path and fight for her arrangement, fight for her family, fight for the original idea. But then Chance convinced her that Devon is right to question his parenting skills. Like, I'm depressed. I can't handle this. So let's let the sperm donor have custody of our son, Dominic. No! No! If Chance is struggling mentally, then, okay, agenda item number 1 needs to be to get him therapy. Take a step back. Get Chance the help he needs. Take whatever time he needs. But then get him out of the way and let someone in their right mind handle the decision making about the child. Let Abby handle the household. Let Abby handle the decisions instead of Chance undermining her, undermining their family, and going to Devon behind her back, declaring himself unfit. Unfit? Unfit? See, that's the part that's puzzling to me. Tell me, exactly what has Chance done that makes him an unfit parent for Dominic? So much so that Devon felt the need to remove Dominic from the household in the first place, and Chance now agrees with him. If Chance had done something, this would be a different story. If we had seen a gradual build-up to Chance becoming dangerous, in any way potentially doing harm to Dominic or Abby, it would be a different story, but that's not the case at all. Not yet, anyway. Chance's biggest argument is that he hasn't bonded with Dominic. Well, what does that even mean? What is a bond? That's an intangible statement. And even if it were tangible, just because that Chance doesn't have a bond with Dominic after a few months doesn't mean that he never will. I can understand Chance being so stuck in his depression that he can't see that, but why would Abby give into it? Where are the other people in Chance's life that should be reassuring him of that fact? The fact that he'll adjust and maybe, I don't know, helping him not make rash decisions out of fear and depression. I mean, Chance is agreeing with all of the talk about how Dominic can feel the confusion of the household. So we have to do this. We can't let my messed up mind affect him. I don't get it. Babies don't even have the brain capacity to conceive of what's going on in the house. Babies still have a giant hole in their skull at this point. They eat and sleep and cry when they need to eat or sleep. That's it. Abby is alone enough to meet those needs. Abby alone is enough to meet those needs. Lots of kids only have one parent, not two, not three. Like, this problem is not even a problem. But gee, I'm so glad we solved it. Props to Mariah for seeking out a conversation with Devon before she even knew about the lawsuit. Mariah listened to Devon patiently, but she encouraged him not to follow through with any of this. And I think that scene, although it didn't affect anything, was good. Not only just for bringing Mariah up to speed and, getting her perspective on it all, but I think also that scene showed the viewers that Mariah truly has healed, that Mariah has gotten her view back, gotten some of her self-assuredness back, and she's ready to move forward into a new life with Tessa. And hopefully she'll be moving into a splashy Valentine's Day wedding. That's what I'm hoping for. Splashy Valentine's Day wedding. Planned primarily by Faith. Over the phone. How cool was it that we got to hear that extended one-sided conversation of Faith getting the big news over the phone? Congratulations, Tessa and Mariah, on your engagement. Tessa popped the question down on one knee, heart in hand, ring in hand, and Mariah accepted her proposal this time. Oh, what a beautiful gesture that Mariah pulled Tessa up from her one knee, saying that they should be on equal footing as they enter into this future together. I liked that a lot. Mariah and Tessa are a very non-traditional couple, but they still take some cues from tradition while creating their own new traditions. I like that. I like that they're mixing things up, spinning it around. I wonder if they will have a non-traditional or a traditional wedding ceremony. I'm curious to see, I'm assuming that there actually will be a wedding ceremony, but if so, I'm curious to see what their interpretation of it will be. And what did you guys think of that non-traditional engagement ring? More and more, I seem to be seeing non-diamond engagement rings these days. Victoria has that huge sapphire engagement ring that Ashland gave to her, and it looks like Tessa gave to Mariah an emerald ring. Do you guys like that trend, I wonder? I'm going to do a totally superficial poll this week, and I'm going to ask you guys, do you like those non-traditional engagement rings without a diamond? YRChat.com. I know that you're going to be so busy weighing in on all of the of the Devon and Abby and Chance storyline that you can't wait to weigh in on something a little more lighthearted, a little more fun. Tell me what you think of engagement rings that are non-diamond. Is it a yay, you like having it a little bit different, or is it a nay, you prefer the diamond? Let me know. Because I think the thing about the colored stone is that it's not going to go with everything that you choose to wear. I would almost be afraid that I would be wearing, like it would clash with other colors that I would be wearing, so I'm not sure that I would want the colored stone as an everyday piece of jewelry. Well, now back to the matter at hand. Mariah is going to have to step it up and get Tessa a ring too, so I wonder if she's going to go diamond or non-diamond, and I hope we get to see what Tessa's ring is going to look like. I mean, is Mariah going to be able to scrounge up the bones for a big ring for Tessa? Where is Mariah even working these days? Is she still at Jabot? What Jabot? We never see that place. I think maybe it's time that we give Mariah a different job so that she can have higher visibility. Like maybe Mariah should start working at New Hope with Noah and Nick. Noah. Noah. Nick actually confronted Noah this week about his longing looks at Tessa. But then again, so did Faith a month ago. And this week Sharon also showed up to the party, and she was rather ho-hum about it all. Like, Sharon was like, oh, well, no, it looks like Noah's in love with Tessa again. Que sera? Anybody want a pastry? We gotta get to the heart of the matter, Sharon. Yeah, so, I mean, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. We're just working our way around the family circle of basically one by one, everybody but Mariah noticing that Noah is making love eyes at Mariah's now fiancé. So, I don't know. I just feel trapped in this story. I feel like I'm trapped in an endless circle of this story and nothing's really happening. So from here on out, I'm declaring I will comment on Noah when there is something worth commenting about. Until then, I'm on strike. Two other stories that I am not commenting on. Number one. Y&R is officially stretching Phyllis pretty hard, waiting for Peter Bergman to return. I mean, wouldn't it be okay to just give the woman a break? It's the same thing we talked about last week with Billy. Just give it a break then. If the actor's not available, just, let that story have a little bit of a break. I mean, we're filling space with Phyllis, her wondering what she's going to be doing with her life, and getting a call from Summer that sounds like a job offer. We all know that Phyllis is not going to take a job in Milan working with Summer. We also know she is not going to just turn into a computer hacking, octopus betting psychopath overnight because she and Nick broke up and because Christian doesn't have anybody to play video games with anymore. Come on. Stretching. And also the other story that I am not commenting on is Nate and Elena. Wake me up when there's something worth my breath, please. Because if all they've got to talk about is Ask MD Now and lamps, well, okay, it was all very cute at first. I had some fun with it, but I've had the appetizer. I was ready for my meal 2 hours ago, and I'm about ready to dash out of this place without paying the bill. Oh, but here is something worth being excited about. Victor Newman and Michael Baldwin teaming up to get Newman Enterprises back. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Is this a dream come true? Has someone someone been reading my diary? This is exactly what fans like me have been waiting for. Victor and Michael snaking out Ashland log. A new Ashland log, too. And this whole thing has a delicious, steaming side of Victoria and Adam. Ooh, incredible. This is everything I wanted. Thank you, Y&R. It's an early Valentine's Day gift to me. Ooh. It's hilarious that Michael thinks for even one moment that taking a job for Victor Newman will not be all-encompassing, that Victor's not going to be calling him in the middle of the night. Please. Michael is not even officially retired yet, and Victor already has him digging into the drama. For real, too. It looks like next week Michael is going to be meeting with Ashland. Ooh, and I don't know about you, but I am totally ready to see Victor and Michael take Ashland Lock down. Especially because how dare Ashland try to replace Regina? Regina is irreplaceable, okay? Regina has been toiling away in the background as the vice president of pencil sharpening for who knows how long. And now Ashland sways in and proclaims that he wants to replace Regina with one of his old cronies. What a creep! I say take him down. I want vengeance for Regina. Oh. Victoria thinks she has got all this figured out. Oh, it's going to be so good to watch her fall. She thinks she is now, the plan is to sue Newman Media over the company name rights. Like, since she owns Chancecom, then Newman, it's a Newman company, that Newman Media shouldn't be able to use the name Newman. I always thought that was kind of weird anyway, but she's not even, like, that's not even her end goal. She's just gonna try to keep them distracted with a lawsuit while she moves in for the kill. But, which seems to have something to do with possibly setting Adam up or making Adam look bad. But I think Victoria is just not even going to see her own downfall coming. She's going to be so focused on taking down Victor and Adam that she is not even going to see her own downfall coming. Victoria has given free reign to Ashland. He can just do whatever he wants right now. He has no title, no job description. He's just doing a little this and a little of that. So what's next? He's replacing some personnel today, but, you know, what's tomorrow? Is he going to be selling off some assets, maybe? Quietly lining his pockets, maybe? Amassing some allies on the board of directors, maybe? I mean, he could do that and have Victoria booted. Oh, yeah, it's Regina today. But tomorrow, Regina might not be the only one being replaced. Victoria. That could be Ashland's plan. And while Victoria is so busy attempting to overthrow Victor and Adam, I just wonder if Victor and Adam might end up saving her from being overthrown. Welcome to Chancellor Industries. It looks exactly like Chancecom, but we changed the digital sign. Well, that's a disappointment. I actually kind of felt happy with the idea that we might never see the Dark Horse office again. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing specifically wrong with it. I probably just got my hopes up that we might get something new instead. Oh, Billy did mention that, I don't know, I guess Chancellor Industries owns the whole building now, so, Even though we haven't seen any of the or the rest of the building, maybe in the future we'll get to see a second office or a conference room or something. Do you remember that there used to be a horrible orange conference room in that building? I want to say it was when we had Dark Horse and maybe Summer was working there with Nick. I remember the orange. It was a little too clashy. It was a little too much for my eyes. I think that was a wise removal. I don't hear any fans clamoring for the return of the orange conference room. Oh, well, here's what I think this is all about. I think Y&R is showing us signs that Victor is going to be okay to merge Newman Media and Newman Enterprises. I think Victor's going to surprise Victoria by being completely okay with it. Newman Media, Newman Enterprises becomes the same. And then I think what we will establish for the future is a Newman versus Chancellor Industries business rivalry. Those two seem like they're kind of on the same level. Newman Enterprises versus Chancellor Industries. And I do like that better. I think that's a good move. I think it would be kind of fun to have Victor and Victoria and Adam, oddly, all kind of working together at Newman Enterprises versus Billy and Lily working together at Chancellor Industries. Well, Billy is back this week, and he is looking good. He did bring all his sexiness back to my screen. He was looking very handsome, looking like he probably smells real good, and you know I appreciate that. And Lily has claimed her crown as CEO, so here we go. Let the games begin. I wonder if Victor and Adam will move over to Newman Enterprises, if that will leave Chelsea and the fashion business to stay in Adam's office at the Newman Media set. Or maybe Chelsea will get the new office space that she asked Adam for, and she will choose to have it housed in the Chancellor Industries building, working right alongside Billy and Lily just to kind of spite Adam. We have achieved a rare state of equilibrium. Oh, is that what we're calling this? A rare state of equilibrium. Okay, Nikki. That was Nikki's line from last week. Congrats, Henry, Daisy, Naomi, Juanita, Sue W., Tanya, Victoria, Sam, Lara, and Kamna. A rare state of equilibrium, my eye. It really kind of feels like Y&R hit one of those reset points, because we had the weird reset, and it almost seemed like a pullout of Billy's story. Like he was setting up that revenge, getting ready to bait Adam into some story, and he was going to take Adam down, and then all of a sudden Billy just busted himself and totally spun our expectations on its heels. And then this week we have Chance and Abby totally spinning our expectations on its heels and just giving into Devon's request. So a rare state of equilibrium, I don't think so. But here's another line that I think maybe is a little more apt at describing for the show right now. I'm so happy it's almost nauseating. I feel that way a lot. I'm so happy it's almost nauseating. Who said it? If you think you know, and I bet you do, go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. You know, more and more, I think I'm just speeding through my part of the Y&R Chat because I can't wait to get to your comments. They're just all so good. Let me start with Daisy, who says, I like the idea that Chelsea wants the fashion workspace to relocate. And I think it might be more than not seeing Adam every day, but also to see if he'll start trying to pursue her. Adam might just regret his decision when he realizes he's lost without Chelsea in his life. But more importantly, where will Sally sit without Adam's desk? Sally does like to plop herself down right on Adam's desk on occasion, doesn't she? Just that derriere, just plop plop right there on his desk. I think Sally would very much not like to relocate. But oh, I love the idea of, as you put it, Daisy, having a fashion workspace. You know, having some fabric and, you know, just little clippings of things coming, you know, around and about, and some measuring tapes and all these other little thingies, you know, needles and sewing, and give me a sense of this fashion business. Oh, well, about Chancellor Industries, Victoria says, "What? No shoes? Lily received some nice gifts on her first day, but high-powered heels would have been a nice touch. Lily and Victoria could have gone toe-to-toe on a more level playing field." Oh, Victoria, that's a pun after my own heart. Victoria, that would have been a great way to show Victoria and Lily going toe-to-toe. Beautiful. Well, Jamie says, "I'm over all of the baby ridiculousness. Bring on the soapy goodness of a bored, mischievous Phyllis with too much time on her hands, and a creepy Noah plot to boot." Oh, Jamie, see, those are the two stories. It's like, I can't get anywhere with either of them. I know the Phyllis thing is not going to pan out. I know the Phyllis thing is fully and completely just Y&R burning a little bit of time until Jack gets back, which is exactly why Phyllis is not going to go back to her mischievous ways. I love that Y&R was giving us that little bit of a teaser, though, and there was a part of me on the inside that was thinking, ooh, I kind of wish Phyllis would go back to doing her little evil, dirty deeds. But you know, I just know it's not going to happen. I think they are propping her up more as a romantic lead. I think she's going to need to be seen as being loyal and true to Jack, and it's just going to take probably 3 more weeks of I don't know, just waiting around and letting Phyllis waffle before they decide it's time to before Peter Bergman's ready to come back on screen, and before we get right back to that romance. And as far as Noah goes, I mean, yeah, I just would really like something to happen with him, for him. I don't know if this is an instance where Y&R has changed direction yet again. Maybe they thought they were going to do one thing and they've changed their mind and gone in another direction. But whatever it is, I just wish they'd pick it. Tina Cole says, "We have made progress. After weeks and weeks of Noah showing longing looks at Tessa, we finally got somewhere. Not only do we have Noah still making longing looks at Tessa, but we now have Sharon making concerned looks at Noah while Noah is making longing looks at Tessa." Who needs a script when the actor's eyes say it all? It will probably take at least 6 more months to maybe get some physical action on this, or the Tessa and Noah storyline will be dropped out of nowhere. The possibilities are endless. Yes, Tina Cole, you're right. What was I thinking? It's been so much of Noah making the longing looks at Tessa, but you're right. Now we have Sharon making longing looks at Noah, making longing looks at Tessa, and Nick making longing looks at Sharon, while Sharon and Nick together make longing looks at Noah. Yes, the eyes say it all. It is all in the eye acting. Who needs a script? Oh. Well, but Michelle says, Nick seeing Noah gazing longingly at Tessa. "Been there before, my boy. Every time I'm with Phyllis, I want Sharon, and vice versa." Yes, I agree, Michelle. I think that's probably exactly what's going through Nick's head when he's watching Noah, watching Tessa. I mean, Nick has definitely been in a spot of being in one place and wanting something or someone else for many, many years now. Many. Well, let's get Sharad's reaction to the Mariah and Tessa engagement. Sharad says, "So, Mariah and Tessa are engaged. What does it really mean? Nothing. This couple has put in 5 years of work, yet the episode of them deciding to make a full commitment to each other was not even about them. It was about watching a man pine over a woman that is gay and scammed him. Yet he feels that they are not together due to bad timing. utterly ridiculous. It seems that this engagement was an afterthought to keep the Mariah fans quiet. They were barely in the episode. And also, that engagement scene must have been shot at 2 different times because Mariah has 3 versions of nails. While sitting with Nick and Noah in Crimson Lights, she had very short nails, none actually. Then, at Society, she had 2 other versions. One was somewhat short with brown-looking polish, and then the next set was extra long claw-looking clear nails. I gotta pause there, Sherrod, because I cannot believe it. I saw those extra claw-looking clear nails, but oh my gosh, I gotta go back and see if I can spot the different nails. Why would they film that 2 different times? That is insane. I'm so glad you caught that, because like, what can we read into that? Why would they need to shoot that twice? I mean, I can understand maybe if she just got her nails done in between the engagement and then the scenes where they were filming telling everybody, but that is really weird. It does seem to indicate that they pieced it together over a period of time. That's weird. But speaking of a period of time, Sherrod says, as stated above, after 5 years of being together, most couples in the soap world would have had a build-up and even have gotten flashbacks of how they became a couple when they decide to make this commitment to one another. But not Tessa and Mariah. Even based on the opening credits, you wouldn't have known that they or anyone else on the show was in the episode except Devon and Amanda. Purposely done, if you ask me. Oh, I gotta pause there too, because why weren't there any flashbacks of Mariah and Tessa? That really is true, because 5 years they've been together, and it is kind of strange that Y&R didn't even show any flashbacks when there's so many that could be shown. I mean, even I've gone back and I've seen, I don't even remember what I was doing, but I did see some old clips of Kate Fairbanks as Tessa, and just seeing her with her shorter hair, and just, she looks so much different, and I mean, it just, comparing it to where she is today and how much she's grown as an actress and just how totally effortless she is now in the delivery of her line. She's just really become such a total soap star, and just like going back and flashing back to those earlier days would have been such a pleasure. And not only that, but seeing Mariah as she has evolved. Mariah definitely used to be more coarse. She used to be more clumsy. Those were core parts of her character that would be really interesting to show us a contrast of where they are today. Yeah, it almost could have been like a building up of the 5-year history of this couple. And I think you're right. I never thought about it because I would guess I was just so happy to get an engagement. But yeah, it does. I guess it was kind of short. And for you, you felt it had not the fanfare that you were looking for. Sherrod says, I feel Kate Fairbanks and Cameron Grimes did great with the material they were given. However, summing it up, for me, this engagement was like being served a 5-star gourmet meal on a garbage can lid. Oh gosh, a 5-star meal on a garbage can lid. Ooh, dang, Sherrod. Well, hey, but let's zoom in on your comment about Kate Fairbanks and Cameron Grimes, because not only were they both spectacular in the engagement scene, but that scene where they were both on the phone with Faith, in quotes, I was rolling my eyes so hard at the fact that that was extended. It kept going on. They were like having this we were watching a whole one-sided conversation of Faith learning this news, and it was such a dud to me. You know how I feel about like phone calls and video calls and all of that. I cannot connect to it. Text message, I cannot connect to it. But I kept thinking the whole time, wow, Cameron Grimes and Kate Fairbanks are selling it. I mean, they were so excited to be talking to that phone, knowing that there was no one on the other end. I mean, that right there is a testament to how much these two actresses have grown. They made that scene actually kind of fun in a space where, you know, I was not having fun with the conceit of it. Yeah, both of them are really great. And Sherrod also says, for the chatters that want to see Tessa and Noah as a couple, there's a new music video by the Lumineers called What We Are. It stars Kate Fairbanks as Tessa and Rory Gibson, Noah. So, okay, so there's a music video. The artist name is the Lumineers, and the song title is What We Are, and there's a music video that has both Kate and Rory in it. Oh, I gotta look that up. That sounds lovely. Are there a lot of chatters that want to see Tessa and Noah together? I thought about doing a poll this week to ask how, if everybody was excited that Mariah and Tessa were engaged, or if you'd rather see Tessa with Noah, but I felt like we did a poll about that just maybe a month ago, and it was pretty well split. But I do wonder, are there a lot of chatters who would like to see Tessa with Noah instead? Are there any chatters who think that Mariah and Tessa will not actually make it down the aisle, that they will not actually end up getting married in the end? You guys will have to leave me some comments this week and let me know. Victoria says, it seems like the writing is on the wall for Ray. Lately, he's looked like the last kid to be picked for kickball. He's always standing off to the side looking mopey. There aren't enough restaurants or museums in Genoa City to reassure Ray. Ray needs to gain some confidence, or his insecurities will threaten to break up his marriage to Sharon. And Gary says, you want to see looking mopey? Check out Devon. And Sherrod adds, and Noah. Like, I really feel like we could start the Mopey Dudes Club. Ray and Devon and Noah all together in a bunch, the Mopey Dudes Club. Although now, I mean, Devon is going to be on cloud 9 from here on out. But yeah, Ray and Noah, the Mopey Dude duo. Diana says, as we see Ray standing in the background while Sharon, Nick, and Noah are talking at the coffee shop, the distance Ray is standing represents how he is feeling further and further away from Sharon and her ready-made family. Oh, Diana, I got a screen cap of this. I'm so glad you mentioned it. Yes, it was Sharon and Nick in the foreground of our screens, and even for a moment, Sharon had her hand on Nick's shoulder. And in the background, standing back by the Crimson Lights entrance door, is Ray. This is a great point, Diana. The visual representation of how far Ray was away and in the background of what was happening in the foreground of Sharon's life. Oh, that's a beautiful catch, Diana, and it was beautifully visually represented there. Speaking of coffee, Victoria says, along the line of fake presents is fake coffee in the mugs and takeout cups. It's so obvious that the cups are empty, especially today. Noah and Nick with their lightweight mugs and no visible coffee. Nick almost turned sideways when talking to another in Crimson Lights, and Amanda and Elena's coffees were obviously faked too. No liquid on Amanda's stirring stick, and instantly taking a drink without checking the temperature. Not a biggie, but distracting. I don't want our actors hyped up on caffeine, but I'm sure things could be a little more realistic. This is hilarious. Nick's coffee almost turned sideways when he moved. No liquid spilled out. Amanda and Elena put their little stir sticks down in the coffee, pull it out, there's no liquid on it. And Amanda just like going slurping into her coffee with nothing in it. I did think there was a scene last week or the week before where I think Ashland poured Victoria some coffee in her office, and I did notice that there was steam coming up out of the cups, and that maybe was just so strikingly different because we usually do see these empty cups or the half-filled cups, and it is so unrealistic, and I know it drives everyone crazy, but there was that one instance a couple weeks ago where there was actually coffee in the cup, and I was so taken back by it. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the empty cups. Just another one of our little neurotic soap fan pet peeves. Well, a hotly debated topic, but a slam dunk poll last week. Who is more ruthless, Victoria or Adam? Well, 82% of you vote Victoria. Victoria is the more ruthless of Victor Newman's children. But let's start with the minority here, because Michelle says, no contest, it's Adam. He's hated all over town for different reasons. Victoria is cold, but has a mother's compassion seep through sometimes. Would Victoria have taken baby Faith and plopped her into the arms of Ashley? No. Would Victoria have dressed up as the ghost of Sabrina just to make Ashley go crazy? No. Would Victoria stab herself in the eyeball with a syringe to go blind to get out of jail? Probably not. Oh gosh, I haven't thought about that in so long, Michelle? The stab, oh my gosh, the eyeball syringe. I totally forgot about that. Making himself go blind to get out of jail. Oh, those were the days. That was the old Adam. This is the new Adam. New and improved. Sue W. says, in business, I choose Victoria simply because she has more experience and time in wheeling and dealing. But in personal matters, I gotta say Adam, as he just doesn't have the solidified family bonds that Victoria has. You know what? That might not be a bad point, that Victoria is more ruthless in business, but Adam's capable of being more ruthless in personal. Well, Sue W. also clarifies, Adam has developed ruthlessness in his core and works hard to suppress it, while Victoria has not, but works oh so hard to present it. Ooh, Sue, that is really good. That they're both ruthless. Adam spends his time trying to suppress it. Victoria spends her time trying to present it. Ooh, that is so good. Y&R viewer 123 votes for Victoria now, but Adam before. Victoria lives up to the first part of her name. That's Victoria. Southside Granny says, Victoria is only ruthless with money and a man behind her. Adam, on the other hand, has made a good attempt to follow in the guidelines of his family and be nice for a change, but it won't last long now. Ooh, I hope not. Astra says, I voted Victoria hands down. This woman is not called the Ice Princess for nothing. Adam can be manipulative, but he actually develops a conscience most of the time. Victoria is cold, and she will go after what she wants no matter what, just like her father, and that makes her more dangerous. Ooh. Marianne V says, I chose Victoria also. She is ruthless, just like Victor. Never has enough, always wants more, and she is diabolical about acquiring assets. Doesn't like Adam and makes sure he knows it. She is Victor's number one child and loves it. Well, Elizabeth says, I don't like how ruthless Victoria has become. She's gotten to be so much more of a daddy's girl princess in her attitude as well. This type of behavior is going to backfire in her face, and hopefully soon. Oh yes, I think it will backfire on her soon. Naomi says, finally, something interesting is developing. I loved it when Victor said Newman lock didn't sit well with him. Of course not. He built Newman from the ground up with his own hands. He didn't put a lock on it, but his darling daughter did. I think Victoria is more transparent to the old man than she realizes. Victor and Michael teamed up, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Victor isn't slipping after all. Yes! It's kind of like, I liked the scene where Ashland reminded us that Victor had said, well, now that you're feeling better and your cancer's better, are you going to want to get in at Newman Lock? It kind of made me think, well, all right, Victor was kind of docile there for a minute. Victoria met a man. She loved him. He was dying. He wanted to repair his relationship with her. So maybe Victor went along with this merger so that he wouldn't rock the boat and to, do something for his daughter the way Newman Media was something he was trying to do for Adam. But now that Ashland has made a recovery, Victor is flipping his switch, and he is realizing that he didn't like that merger ever, and if it weren't for the fact that Ashland was supposedly dying, he probably wouldn't have liked him marrying his daughter. So now Victor's turning it all around. Maybe he's not slipping after all, and maybe he's gonna get Newman Enterprises back to being Newman Enterprises. Thank you. And with the help of Michael Baldwin. Well, Superplex reminds us that Ashland's neck was saved from the chopping block because Victor got Jesse Gaines to lie. So you are playing with fire, Victoria. Oh yeah, that's right, Superplex. And didn't Victor even say something like, I can, what I've done here today, I could undo in a heartbeat. So that's true. Victor still would have access to Jesse Gaines, and he still could blow up Ashland's secret. Victoria is playing with fire. Yes. T. Nicole says, Victoria's downfall will be her husband. The waters have shifted, and we now know both Victor and Nikki do not trust Ashland, which only means that more secrets will be revealed. I wonder if Nick will throw in an I told you so. And, you know, Adam does not have Victoria's back anymore. Kamna says, I love Victoria right now, and I also want to see her fall on her face. Great acting by Amelia. I'm hoping this has all been a ploy from Locke, and eventually Adam swoops in with Victor to save the company and becomes CEO. With Sally by his side, please. Oh, yeah, I know, that's the thing. It's like this whole time, Victoria is planning to take Adam down for kind of no reason. I mean, I really don't know why all of a sudden Victoria has it out for Adam, like big time has it out for Adam. Adam's done nothing but like try to be a good guy for the last year now. He's made so much progress and he hasn't done anything to provoke Victoria, and yet here she is just suddenly laser focused on him because of something that she wants, and all the while she's laser focused on this thing that she wants. I think you're right. I think that Ashland is going to end up duping her. I think Victor and Adam are going to end up saving the day, and maybe Adam will end up crowning Adam as the CEO of Newman Enterprises, along with his own custom portrait, I hope. Well, Victoria says, I wish Victoria and Ashland's next move against Newman Media would be to plan a cozy dinner. I'd love to see Adam, Victor, Nikki, Victoria, and Ashland having dinner at the Locke Newman house. Over salads and a main entree. We could get a bird's eye view of Victoria and Ashland's manipulations and the Newmans' reaction to them. Nikki won't be able to remain in Switzerland much longer. Oh, I know. I love that scene with Nikki and Ashland, by the way, where she came in and saw him sitting in Victoria's chair and she said, She gave him face. She said, She definitely gave him a stern eye, and by a careful choosing of her words, let him know that she was disapproving and didn't like what he was doing there. But I like that you're saying Nikki's going to have to, she's straddling the line right now, but she is eventually going to have to pick a side. And I think it should be Nikki who plans this dinner, right? I mean, Nikki could be the one that's saying, oh, I want the family to be very happy and together, and I'm concerned about togetherness, and she could plan a meal, and we could get everybody together and see how it all shakes out over salads and a main entree. Do you guys remember the Newman Locke family breakfast that we had in Tuscany? It was like the last scene we had before we left Tuscany. That was so memorable. I think doing something like that again would be wonderful. This is a great idea, Victoria. Diana says, I'm excited that we're finally getting a story for Michael Baldwin. It's about time, just like the old days. I look forward to this new journey for Michael. I can't believe it, Diana, because there was this part of me when we got the retirement episode where I thought, oh man, I hope this isn't meaning like we're going to see less of Michael. No, we immediately got more. All of that actually led to us getting more Michael. And I know it's not the same, but we've been asking for like Paul and Christine, and Michael's kind of a part of that crew. And so I like that even though we haven't been getting Paul, at least we got some Michael, and that it seems like we're going to get more. I mean, that really, really is a dream come true. Well, now here is my favorite comment of the week, and it comes from Gary, who says, Abby caved and ruined the show. Now all that's left is for her to hate Chance Chancellor. I have just watched my last episode. See you folks tomorrow. I'm overwatching the show. See you tomorrow. I have watched this show since 1912, and this is my last episode that I'm ever gonna watch. See you tomorrow. That's genius. I love it. But boy, I'll tell you what you're really hitting on is that there was some negative comments this week. Ooh, everybody's so mad this week. I told myself, I got to pull myself from being mad because I felt it all too. I was definitely like, what? So I had to kind of pull myself back. I'm like, no, I got to be the peacemaker. You know me. But I tell you, there was a lot of people really unhappy this week. I just wonder, do the writers know that? Does Y&R know that? Do they have any sense when the fans aren't happy? Do they care about that? I don't know. Sue W says, after reading all the negative comments, I feel like I should somehow be up in arms, hating every bit of the Dominic saga as it continues to unfold. But I'm not, and I don't. That's great, honestly, Sue, because the comments were rough this week. This is another one where I had to do a lot of moderation because a lot of people have a really lot of strong feelings about it all that comes out sometimes in a not so flattering way and sometimes in kind of a hateful way, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, even though I definitely had a big screeching what at all of this, and I did feel that of it all, at the same time, my jaw was dropped. I mean, I definitely was watching the show and my mouth was hanging open and I was like, what? I mean, there was other moments where also with the Victor and Michael thing where I was out loud saying, yes! I mean, out loud talking to my screen, which I don't normally do. So the week definitely had some really high points that made me want to scream, and it definitely had some really low points that made me want to scream. And at the end of the day, I guess it was all good drama. Heather says, even though I wanted to jump through the TV, I respected the storyline because it was going to lead to huge drama. Victor, maybe Nick, fighting for Abby against Devon. Basically, it would be a whole Winters versus Newman war. But instead, we have Chance handing the baby over and essentially having Abby apologize. I am so sorry, Devon. I will totally let you take my baby. Why don't you rename him too? I am so sorry. I am such a jerk. You and Amanda are perfect and you deserve my kid. I know it. I feel it all. I really do. I mean, did the writers think that we were going to be like, yay? Is that it? I mean, do you think they were just like, let's just make a quick resolution and get out of this and move on to something else and maybe nobody will notice. The fans will be mad for 1 week and then we'll just pivot real quick and get out of this. Maybe that's it. Or maybe did they think like, everybody's gonna love this. Oh, holy crap, everybody. Let's just let Devon have the custody. We're gonna make Abby and Devon acquiesce to it all, and then let's append another name. It'll be Neil's name. That's gonna make the fans happy. That's what I wonder. Are they thinking, oh, the fans are gonna love this? Or were they thinking, we just gotta get out of this. I don't know. I don't care. It's a mess. That's for sure. Oh, Superplex points out, though, what you are agreeing to here is to give veto power to Devon on whatever decisions you make regarding Dominic's upbringing. Yeah, that's a good point, Superplex, that I don't think they fully felt the ramifications of or really thought about at all. Can you even imagine how unnecessarily complex all of the decision-making for Dominic's life is going to be now? 3 parents all weighing in. Like, what summer sports he plays is now going to have to be run by a tribunal. Or they're going to have a democratic vote on, anything and everything that this kid does, what he eats for dinner. It's going to be ridiculous. Yeah, it's going to get continually more messy as time goes on. Ugh, what a stinker. Sherrod says, the part where Devon asked to give Dominic Neil's last name, I did not find it to be sentimental. I found it to be a manipulation of viewers that loved the actor who played him. To me, it's a bad look on this Y&R regime. Sherrod, I kind of felt felt the same way too. I'm glad that you vocalized this, because I didn't feel sentimental about Devon giving the baby the Winter's name either. I mean, this kid has like 4 other last names too, so big deal. It really didn't hit me emotionally like I thought it was going to. I think kind of what you're saying is that it almost seems like pandering a little bit, you know, like, oh, well, let's just like, we're going to give Devon the baby, but we're going to have him make sure to connect it into Neil, and that'll give the emotional punch for the viewers who really loved Neil. And instead, I didn't feel that way. I thought that felt kind of icky. And I wonder kind of in a way if that's how you feel, Sherrod, about Mariah and Tessa, that some of it is just kind of pandering, you know, like there's a lack of authenticity, like it's not coming from a real natural or a real organic place. It's just like, we'll throw him a bone here, we'll throw him a bone here, and then we'll just all move on, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably more of like a culture issue. It's not just on Y&R, it's kind of everywhere, sort of a lack of authenticity. Yeah, that moment did not feel real. That moment did not ring true to me. And I love Neil, and I love Devon's relationship with Neil, because Devon actually had a relationship with Neil. I remember, you know, the way Neil felt about Devon when Drew wanted to bring him into the household. I remember the evolution of Devon's relationship with Neil. That is meaningful to me. Tacking Neil's last name onto this baby who has the last names of everything under the sun, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the child's name in and of itself really, really represents the ridiculousness of the story itself. There is no better representation of the ridiculousness of the story than looking at this child's name. And Gary says, I would like Dominic to be a Copeland of the larger Weenie family of Abby and Chance. Yeah, I think it was Superplex early in the week that called Chance a weenie. I love the word weenie. I don't know, it makes me laugh. And yeah, I have to agree. Chance definitely is a weenie, right? He's being a weenie right now. But I like your point here too, Gary, that where's the Copeland in Dominic's name? I mean, if we are throwing around everybody under the sun that had anything to do with this child, where's the Copeland? I mean, where's the Mariah? I always thought Dominic being the word Dominic, or the name Dominic, being representative of all of the people in his life, and like the D is for Devon and the M is for Mariah. I always felt like that's a little loose. The M for Mariah is the M in Dominic in the middle of the word. I don't think so. What they really need to do is add Copeland onto this child's last name. We need a 7th name. Maybe 7 would be the lucky number. Well, T. Nicole has an interesting idea here, saying, wouldn't it be something if just because Amanda pushed Devon to pursue custody that leads him to cheating on... If just because Amanda pushed Devon to pursue custody, that leads him to cheating on her with Abby down the road as Abby's marriage to Chance blows up and she creates more of a family bond with Devon. Yeah, I think you're right, T. Nicole. The only thing I can think as to why in the heck any of this happened is if we're about to see Abby and Chance break up. Maybe unknowingly Chance has pushed Abby into Devon's arms, and unknowingly Amanda has pushed Devon into Abby's. They start to bond over their shared biological son. I mean, it just almost feels like we're getting ready to rip Chance out of the picture. It almost feels like this is Y&R's way of saying, no, we're just going to let Abby and Devon be the parents, and we're going to move Chance on and over and on to something else, and maybe someone else. Maybe that is the plan. Daisy says, I'd like to see Abby leave Chance and move to a house on her father's ranch until she can buy a home. Chance didn't stand up for her and their son. She can leave the door open, but he can focus on how to heal on his own. Her priority is her child, and with Chance dealing with his issues away from Dominic and the new ideas not yet on paper, Abby can return to the original agreement she had with Devon. She can get a family lawyer who knows the law and put her foot down on any changes. And Abby could also say that Devon's manipulation hurt her family, and she doesn't want him around her son because Devon broke her trust, at least temporarily, for Dominic's sake. that's the thing about Chance, is like the logical solution here. If Chance was not feeling right in the head, Chance should have removed himself from the situation, but he should not have done anything to undermine or make Abby question her own parenting skills. That was the part that felt really wrong to me. Abby has been the one consistent parental presence in Dominic's life the whole time. Her instinct, she spent the most time with him. Her instinct should have been above everyone else's. I mean, Abby is the primary parent. She's the one that's been there, I mean, more than anyone else. I mean, she only left Dominic with Devon for like, what, a week tops? That's not a lot in the time span of this baby. Abby's the mother. Abby's the mother. Abby was always the mother. There was never anything else. So it's crazy to me that Chance would not say, you know what, I'm just going to take a minute. I'm going to step aside. I'm going to go. I'm going to seek inpatient treatment. If I'm such a danger to Dominic, then I'm going to go seek inpatient treatment at a facility. You handle the household, girl. You stay. You handle the household. You did it when I was gone in Spain anyway. You did it when you thought I was dead. I'm not much use to you anyway. I mean, what use is Chance really to Abby anyway? He should have gone off, got his treatment, removed himself from the situation if he was the problem, and let her continue on with her conviction. I wonder, is there anybody who thinks that Abby and Chance made the right move? I'd love to hear from anybody who thinks Abby and Chance made the right move this week. It's okay. You can go to yrchat.com to leave that comment, because I think that would be a perspective I'd really love to have. Here's one from T. Nicole, who says, Abby is upset that Chance showed up to Devon's without her knowing, but isn't that what she was doing? She showed up at Devon's penthouse without Chance knowing she was going there. And so I'm curious about her reason for going to Devon's. What would she have said? Why was it okay for Abby to talk to Devon about this custody request, but not Chance? That's a very rational perspective. A very good question, T. Nicole. What exactly was it that Abby was going to talk to Devon about, and why is it okay that she did that and not Chance? I guess I wonder if maybe Abby was going to try to guilt trip him. I don't think Abby was going to acquiesce. I don't think so. I think Abby would have continued to fight. That's my sense. My sense is that the only reason Abby changed her mind was because Chance asked her to. Herman said, I think Chance would not have had to make this decision if not for what Devon was doing. Over time, Chance would have bonded with his son, but Devon's actions put undue weight on the situation. Yeah, I think that's true too, Herman. I think Devon, putting his little questioning out there definitely planted that seed of doubt in Chance's mind. Or maybe the seed was already there and everything that Devon said just watered it. Daisy says Devon is manipulating Chance. He claims he's only trying to help Chance and Abby, when in actuality, he seems to regret being a donor and now wants parental rights. And rather than be honest, he's saying it's Chance who's the problem, just the way he said Abby was. Yeah, that's an interesting element of all of this, too. Is there a manipulation on Devon's part? That has occurred to me, too. Naomi says, I'm now feeling sorry for Devon and upset with Chance. I thought last week we saw Chance playing, quite naturally and charmingly silly, with Dom at society. Devon sees this and looks all sad. This week we have Chance saying he doesn't have any bonding with Dom. So I guess to say in Soapland, I'll go with this and feel Devon is clairvoyant and the only one to see Chance is becoming very detached from family life. If I were to fill in the blanks here, I would go with the damaged childhood thing. Or I guess I can buy into the traumatized Chance that can't even find the strength to push back that persistently wayward curl off of his forehead. But wait, if he pushed back the curl, Abby would have nothing left to do. Chance and his wayward curl. That's funny. But I also like your point that it was just 2 weeks ago where Chance was playing with Dom and making funny faces, and it seemed to the viewer that he was doing just fine. I don't think the viewer got the sense that Chance was struggling this much. I mean, we didn't really see the evidence of that. And frankly, going back and getting a flashback of that conversation between Chance and Devon, where Chance was opening up to Devon the first time at the bar, saying that, he didn't feel like he was the man everybody thought he was. I just, rewatching that made me think that, Devon, that's really crappy that you used that against him. Chance was sitting in there at the bar. He was feeling vulnerable. He was maybe a little bit buzzed. He said some things that, maybe he didn't really mean. It was late at night or whatever. And now Devon turned around and used that against him. And I just thought, I don't know. I felt like it was somewhat of a manipulation on Devon's part to get what he wanted. I don't feel like the viewers saw Chance progress to the state where he wasn't able to care for Dom. Shelley says, for me personally, all Y&R needed to do was show me repeatedly and in much greater detail what Chance has actually been dealing with since his return. The one episode this week where he laid it out all out on the line for Abby was the most we've gotten of what's going on deep inside of him. And even that scene was lacking any depth. But I finally saw some emotion. If we had been shown the pain and anguish Chance claims he's been dealing with, I could more easily accept his decision to allow Devon a bigger role. I really hope Chance gets top priority in these next few months and we get to see some real struggles. But the thing is, if Chance is not in his right mind, then the decision-making should not have been up to him. If Chance was not in his right mind and he wasn't feeling very strong, he should have maybe deferred the decision-making for the family to Abby. I don't know. Here's a great comment from Ellen, and we'll end on this. If Devon really cared about Dominic, he would have offered to help Chance, not try to undermine him. Devon could have spent time with Chance and Dominic doing things together, encouraging Chance, being a friend, easing his insecurities. And hey, there are parenting support groups available and therapists who specialize in PTSD too. Just maybe Devon the billionaire and Amanda with the traumatic backstory could help Chance pursue some actual resources that would help him start to heal and step back into the role as a father. Instead, they are just thinking of themselves and ready to stab Chance and Abby in the back. This is definitely not in Dominic's best interest. Christine better step up and defend them against Devon's attack. Oh, Ellen, you laid it on the line. And you wrote that comment a little earlier in the week. So, unfortunately, Christine was willing to be there, but they didn't want her help defending against Devon's attack. Honestly, I think that I'm ready to fire Christine from this case. Ellen, I think we need you to become Abby and Chance's lawyer, and you can work us through from here on out. You can now resolve this custody issue for us. Consider it your birthday present. Ellen's birthday is January 27th. That's this coming Thursday. And I can think of no better present for our resident fake attorney than to be handed over this case. You need to help us set things straight. Ellen's going to get to the bottom of this. I just really love the notion that we are all, as soap opera fans, fake attorneys, fake therapists, fake medical professionals, like all based on our years of experience of watching soaps. We are all soap opera lawyers. Like on the level of Michael Baldwin, we have this expertise, I think Ellen, you're going to be the one that I'm going to hire to help get me custody of Dom, so we bring him into the Y&R Chat fold for next week. Like, as soap opera fans, we all know that there's a golden parachute in that contract, or in Devon's case, I guess, a golden pacifier. Okay, everybody, that does it for me. And if you're not too exhausted with all of the comments that you guys have left for me over the course of this past week, I think you should go to yrchat.com and leave me some more comments about what you think about this Y&R Chat, what you think about all these comments, what you think about the show next week as it evolves. it kind of feels like we're at the fork in a road in several ways. It feels like this is a reset on all of the stories. I kind of think Y&R is going to sweep a lot of things under the rug, and they're just going to move forward into whatever direction they have determined will be the better route for them. Just feels different, right? Reset! Maybe just in time for February sweeps. Well, boy, I am looking forward to that. I just want to get some romance on the show. I just want to have some hearts and some flowers and some weddings and just some lovins and some kissings and some romance. That'll be enough to cheer me up. I think we've got some potential. I think everything with Victor and Michael and Victoria and Adam is going to be real good. We'll see how Billy and Chance Industries fits into there, and we'll just do our best to forget about the Baby Dom storyline for a while. Wouldn't that be a wonderful gift if we could just forget about this for a while? Fine, the baby has 7 names. Fine, everybody owns a piece of him. Can we talk about something else now? Oh, probably not. I'm sure we'll be talking about it next Sunday. So I will see you guys then. I love you so much. Have a good week. Bye.